Welcome to Curious Lorenzo, a podcast where I research in real time topics that I'm curious about. And today I have my good buddy Sean Friend on. And I'm going to continue on with the childlike curiosity thing. For me, I got to a point where I was sort of losing a lot of my curiosity and thought that I needed to get this back. So I started asking this question about my own curiosity, like what is it? What brought me curiosity as a kid? And I just had this realization that a lot of adults kind of lose it, which gave me this idea to kind of ask some of my friends and family what brought you curiosity as a kid. So, hi, Sean.
Hello.
We have a long friendship. I've known Sean since 2015. So our chemistry
It's been longer than that.
2005. I'm like, oh yeah, wow. I don't know, 2015. So 2005. But our chemistry is it's an acquired taste. But
We kiss.
yeah, occasionally. We don't. Sometimes. Anyways, yeah, so I've known Sean since 2005. Yeah, so I'll go and get started. So Sean, what brought you curiosity as a kid? Like something that you can just get lost in that brought you wonder, just sort of that spark. Can you remember that?
Yeah. I'm going to say it was magic. Like real like folklore magic. Like some of the stuff there like gnomes were things that I really believed existed and that luck can really be changed and influenced through your own actions, almost the same way karma does. But magic in itself, I would love hearing stories about dragons, and I played D&D as a kid, and the idea that magic could really be real sparked a lot of curiosity. I really also I remember being really into the movie Hook.
Oh,
And I even, with some of my friends, drew this map of like Neverland because we believed so much that it existed, and that we as kids in elementary school could go there.
oh, that's cool. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
So when you said magic, first came to my head was like Magic the Gathering, the card game, and then I thought like magic tricks, but no, just like straight magic, just
Like real magic.
like wizards and
Yeah, but more of it's like more like thinking about how does magic interact with our lives, and like thinking about, I think when I was a kid it was more about just like how do magical things happen, and like I said, gnomes were a big thing that I thought were real, and maybe this was kind of like the stories that were told to me as a kid, which I thought was kind of cool.
So did you read a lot of like fantasy books, or like did you read what is it, like folklore and mythology and things like that?
Not so much. I did a lot. I read a lot of Calvin and Hobbs comic strips with my dad. It was something that we'd get the newspaper, and that was something that like all the time. That was something about it. Everything bagels and Calvin Hobbs comic strips. But there was it's just like there's this whole other side of it, is because like now. I think as I'm a little bit more grown up, it feels like some of that belief that magical things can exist is gone. Like I like the X-Files said, I want to believe a lot in those sorts of things, and I think it's kind of sparked my interest in other things like cryptozoology.
Yeah. So
But
cryptozoology, that's like, is it like hybrids of animals that didn't exist, or what?
I
What is
could
that?
be wrong about the definition, but I'm pretty sure it means we could look it up. Curious,
Oh,
Lorenzo.
all right.
But I'm pretty sure it means it's like the study of mythical creatures,
Oh, okay.
creatures of folklore.
Okay. Oops. Crypto. No. Oops. Wrong one.
Not cryptozoo.
Cryptozoology.
What,
Logy.
almost, but yeah.
There we go. All right. So cryptozoology is a pseudoscience or subculture that aims to prove existence of entities from folklore records such as Bigfoot. Okay, yeah. Loch Ness Monster, Yeti, Chupacabra, the Jersey Devil. I've never heard of that. Mookie Membrane. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's those are all really interesting to me, and like there's something to like having that sort of idea, like maybe there's more to our understanding than what we can see in front of us, kind of thing. Have you ever seen that movie with Will Ferrell where he was like a pop singer in Iceland?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you? And she's like talking about the fairies.
I don't remember that part, but yeah.
She's talking about the fairies, I guess, in Iceland. Like even adults like believe in the fairies in the hills, and she goes and feeds the fairies, and
And then on the hills, and there's a little
Yeah.
the little door she puts
Yeah.
out on the hills. Yeah.
yeah. And I loved that sort of like belief and like innocence and like
What's to say that's not real?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like we've just gotten older. Does that mean that we don't believe those things because we're older and because
Right.
we haven't seen it,
right.
or what?
Yeah.
I want to believe in magic still,
Yeah.
but I think that I had a stronger belief in it when I was a kid.
No, I agree. That's kind of going back to Hook too, isn't that like the whole thing of Neverland too? Like Hook, like uh, the character Peter Pan, like he gets old and he loses that sort of thing. That's like the whole thing of the movie, right? It's like
And then he comes back to Neverland
Right.
and realizes it all exists, but like, was it all a dream kind of
Yeah.
thing in the end?
Yeah.
Who knows?
yeah. I watched that movie recently with the kids, and
Great movie.
it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
I love the part where they're all at the table and they're all just eating.
Yep.
And they're just having a feast or whatever, and like he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And they're just eating away.
eating.
Yeah, but he didn't see it because he just like his mind wasn't there. But their reality was their reality because of like their belief, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Pretty cool.
It's also Neverland. I mean,
Neverland, yeah.
You know, Neverland.
True.
Yeah.
Cool. So magic and Hook. Anything else bring you curiosity as a kid that you like something that would just captivate you for hours at a time?
I mean, like that's a big deal. That's a big thing that I still think impacts me a lot even today. Is that belief in things that may not exist or what you can't see and you know science can't explain it. I guess.
Yeah. Or maybe science hasn't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah, I mean, like cryptozoology, if you think about it this way, a giant squid was a cryptid for many, many years until we found that in the ocean.
Right.
So who knows, who's to say that, I know this is dumb, but who's to say Bigfoot doesn't exist, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, but probably not.
Yeah, probably not, but you know, maybe Bigfoot is really smart and has a good way of maybe has a bunker. Who knows?
Yeah.
Cool. So you said so one thing I noticed you mentioned was Calvin and Hobbes, and I know that you like sometimes you'll still like post Calvin and Hobbes stuff on Facebook or do you do that? Or is it
Yeah.
my brother?
Yeah.
What-
So your brother does too.
Yeah. What about Calvin and Hobbes?
It's just using your imagination. Calvin and Hobbes are named after famous, or I guess famous is in quotation marks, philosophers. You know, Calvin. I don't know what their names are, but I just think it's very interesting because the way that Calvin thinks compared to the way Hobbes thinks, even though Hobbes is a figment of Calvin's imagination, or is he a figment of Calvin's imagination and only appears when Calvin is around and nobody else, is around? Who
Kind of
knows?
leaves it up to the reader.
Yeah, and then if he is a figment of Calvin's imagination, why is his personality so much different than Calvin? Is it the idea of like the id and the superego and how every person has this kind of duality inside of them? And I think that Bill Watterson, the author of Calvin Hobbes, is quite an amazing person.
Yeah. I had a follow-up question, but I kind of got lost in the comic strip for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Near my Hobbs.
Yeah.
To my Calvin.
All right.
We should dress up sometime and just hang out.
All right, cool.
Go sledding?
Let's do it. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so let's take let me see here. Let's take a little music break. Tea break for me. I'm gonna drink some tea. You can sing if you want.
I was gonna do the music.
Yeah.
No?
Well, I mean, I have music, but you can sing too if you want.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a tea break, and then we can talk about some of the things that have remained and what makes us curious. Like, I know for you, like, you still have a pretty good imagination, from what I know. Like, you're an artist, and you draw and you make board games and
Artist.
You
in
did.
quotation marks.
No, you're an artist, and you've done comic strips, and you've kind of kept that creativity. You're a pretty creative guy, so you obviously like have a lot of that imagination still. So maybe we can kind of tap into that.
Okay.
Sound good? All right. So I'll take a break and be right back. All right, we're back. So we talked about Sean's childhood curiosity of magic and gnomes and Hook and imagination, Calvin Hobbes, all that stuff.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs too?
Yeah.
Did you draw dinosaurs as a kid?
Yeah.
Nice.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Heck yeah. Which Ninja Turtle were you when you were a kid?
Leonardo. You were Raphael, weren't you?
Michelangelo.
You were Michelangelo.
Yeah. It's actually a correlation to the houses in Hogwarts.
Really?
Yeah, so Leonardo is like Gryffindor.
So like the responsible kind of, right? Isn't he like sort of like voice of reason?
Competent.
Voice of reason. I'm not like a super confident
Raphael
person.
is like
He's like a ruffian,
like Slytherin.
like a scallywag. Like what's the word?
Donatello's like Ravenclaw, and Michelangelo's a Hufflepuff.
So you're a Hufflepuff?
I'm a Hufflepuff, man.
All right,
Heck
cool.
yeah.
Cool. Kind of the go with the flow, take it easy.
Yeah.
Sort of no rules.
Woo!
Yeah.
Party time.
There
Pizza
you go.
time.
Nunchucks.
Nunchucks.
Nice. Yeah, I love to draw dinosaurs as well. I drew my favorite. Actually, there's a dinosaur in my kid's toy bucket right in front of us. It's a Brachiosaurus. I loved Brachiosaurus.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite dinosaurs. That
Remember
they're
those
so
little
cool.
plastic dinosaurs that were like multicolored? They were like real tiny.
Not really.
But
Kind of.
in kindergarten, I didn't have any friends,
Mm-hmm.
and so I took all my dinosaurs and went all the way to the back of the playground. And there was this mound of sand, like a little hill.
Yeah.
And I go on the other side of that and just play with
Just
them
play the dinosaurs?
by myself.
Dude, I would have played with you. That sounds awesome. That
Nobody
sounds
did
amazing.
because I had an Inspector Gadget coat,
Oh, nice.
and kids made fun of me because of it.
Well, they didn't know
So I
Inspector.
didn't have many friends.
They didn't know
in
Inspector
kindergarten.
Gadget.
Yeah.
Inspector Gadget was also awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, I didn't really know much about dinosaurs. Like my son today can name like all these insane dinosaurs. Also, like there's a graph I saw on the internet some like recently.
Well, all the
Like
names have changed
a
since
lot
we
of the
were
names
kids.
have changed, but we've also discovered like we're in the golden like zone of a golden era of dinosaur
Right
discovery.
now?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like 100%.
Like they're finding
They're
new
finding
dinosaurs.
tons of dinosaurs like within the past like 10 years. So when we were kids, there was not as many dinosaurs as today.
Alive?
Not alive, but so I don't know. That's pretty interesting to me. Also, I'm sorry I'm getting on rabbit holes, but
No.
have you ever watched the YouTube video, the YouTube channel? I think it's called Quartzigart.
Nope.
You should check it out. It's animated, and they were talking about this is something that blew my mind, and I'll try to link this. They talked about what's called like the dark zone or dark of like species. There are species of dinosaurs and animals in history that we will just never know. And I don't know why that seems pretty obvious, but like I just never thought about that. I'm like, it kind of made me a little bit sad. I'm
Because
like,
they like died and there's no record of them.
yeah, there's
and
no record of
just
it.
because they just existed.
Right. And the reason for it is because most of like life today lives in the rainforest. And that goes we can assume that back millions of years ago that most life lived in the rainforest back then too.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with that is after something dies in the rainforest, everything is just gone.
Yeah. Just
Because it's so wet and moist and there's like all this and all
moist.
these all these animals like eating up your remains and even like whatever's left like the soil is
Right.
the soil is so
just
acidic
gonna recycle
it's
it.
you're gone. So there's so many animals that are just gone.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
It's crazy to
yeah.
think about.
But Jurassic Park when that came out,
Yeah.
that
That
opening
was a good,
scene,
that's a great movie.
it is a really good movie. That opening scene with the Brachiosaurus,
Yeah.
I was just like
It
and
still holds up. It still holds
it
up.
still it holds up really well.
Really good.
What was that, 1994
I don't know.
or something like that?
Great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Fantastic movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. I was thinking of something photoshopped I saw on Reddit.
Yeah.
It was the sick Triceratops laying on its side.
Oh no.
No.
No,
You know that scene where the doctor like he's laying on the sick Triceratops and it's
Yeah.
kind of breathing. It's bringing him
Dr.
up.
Grant.
Dr. Grant.
He's laying on
They
the yeah.
they photoshopped him, but instead of the Triceratops, it was Jeff Goldblum when he's shirtless. So Jeff Goldblum was they photoshopped his body and
That
then
sounds amazing.
yeah. We should reenact that.
I'm down.
Any- Anyways, all right, cool. So, yeah. So what are you interested in now? Like what's
Now I
yeah
play a lot of D&D.
to this day?
Yeah.
So you're still into Magic?
I mean, like, in a different way, right? Like, it's hard to explain, but I'm sure you experience this where you're just like, there's less to be known about it. The more you know, the less you know situation
Yeah.
where
Where you,
it just feels like the magic is gone there. Like I can play Dungeons and Dragons and I can role play a character, but does that mean I believe leprechauns exist?
yeah.
No.
Well, if you think so, me and Lindsay were talking about this a couple days ago, but like there's a lot of like science in alternate realities and like layers of existence. So what if like there's like a layer of existence that's adjacent to ours where leprechauns exist? Like, I don't know.
I mean, that's just science trying to explain
Yeah.
magic, right?
Yeah.
I guess in that, yes.
Yeah.
Well, what about ghosts?
Yeah. It's kind of
Is
the
that
same idea.
Same idea.
Same idea.
What about Bigfoot? Same idea.
Maybe.
Giant squid,
Yeah.
but giant squids are here.
Giant squids are real. Yeah.
They're real.
They are real. So, what's interesting about Dungeons and Dragons? Because I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons.
You
like,
don't?
no,
Didn't you play one time with me?
no, I haven't.
No.
I grew up in a very
No, you came to we played at my wedding, we played the steampunk role-playing game
Yeah.
at the hotel, and my dad gave us all roles.
That was fun.
That was cool. I mean, that's basically Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
That was fun. Now, I wasn't allowed to play Dungeons and Dragons
Why not?
because I grew up in a very like religious
Do you
family.
want to go play Dungeons and Dragons? sometime?
I would like to. I would be the noobiest of the noobs.
That's cool.
But can you tell me about it? Like, what is Dungeons and Dragons?
Do you want to know who my character is in the game I'm playing right now?
Yeah, sure.
His name's Engelbert Wonderful.
Okay. Do you get to come up with your character's
I came
name?
up with the name, yep.
Okay.
Isn't that a great name?
Okay. Yeah, that's a great name. How did you come
I have
up
a
with that?
17-page backstory for him.
Nice. Is that required or is that just you're just extra?
I'm just have it. You don't have to have that for your character. But you know, it's taking on a character and pretending you are that character for this part of time. I think there was a great explanation that was online. I saw that about Dungeons and Dragons because they just completed their campaign, and it's a comedian. He was talking about it and how like it's basically this shared dream that you have with these 5 other people that nobody wants to hear about but you guys.
That's pretty neat. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
So, and each character are they like different types of like are they humans or?
I think you know.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I kind of.
What do you
I've
think
never
Dungeons and
played.
Dragons is?
I think it's. I'm like imagining sort of like a World of Warcraft kind of thing.
Okay, you
like
played that for a little while.
You have like
didn't you?
undead. You have like orcs.
Yeah.
And then you have humans.
Yeah.
Is that it? Weren't there like elves?
There's elves. Yep.
Is it the same thing?
It's basically the same thing.
Okay.
You go on quests. A little bit more, you know, like really depends on how you want to play the game. I like it when it's a little bit more RPG heavy, but also at the same time you could play it as just like it's a battle simulator. So,
Okay.
you know, you have your stats and you stick to the stats and you roll for attacking and blah, 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 blah. Or you can get into it a little bit more and pretend like you're the character, and that's what I like.
What are the tools of the game? Like you have dice.
Yes.
And it's a 12-sided dice?
Yeah, there's a 12-sided die and 20-sided die.
How many dice do you have?
And a 4-sided die. I mean, like, it really depends on what you're doing.
Okay.
And, like, different dice determine, like, how much the damage is going to be, or if you are successful in... So you're going to roll a 20-sided die to determine your success on if you're able to hide in the shadows, or if you're able to lift up this boulder, or if you're trying to manipulate someone in some way.
So what guides the storyline? Is there like a book that goes along with it?
The Dungeon Master, yeah. And then there's either like going to be... Dungeon Master is basically God.
Okay. Is that like a handbook? Or
Yeah, there's a handbook, and there's lots and lots and lots of books out there. And Dungeons and Dragons is just one of hundreds, thousands of different ways to play role-playing games, which I think is really more fun than Dungeons and Dragons. Is the idea that there's like a game called Monster of the Week, which goes back to my belief in magic and things that don't exist. Basically, Monster of the Week is you take on these characters kind of like in the X-Files or, you know, Supernatural or something like that, and you go off and you fight these supernatural beings, which is, I think, kind of cool. But basically, it's Dungeons and Dragons, but a different coat of paint on there.
Oh, wow. Wow. Like, I have a lot of questions now. Like, is there like a board that goes along with it?
I mean, most of the time it's just like you have a piece of paper that is your character sheet, and then some dice to determine if your action is successful.
Okay. So I feel like Dungeons and Dragons kind of took off again during COVID.
I mean,
is that true? Like a lot of people played it like online, like on Zoom and stuff, right?
I definitely personally saw more people playing, and I even met someone who made it their job to be a game master for a company that basically, if you wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, you could pay $20 to go play in this game on this website.
Oh, that's cool. And people are paying it?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's his career now, is to be a game master at this website.
So he basically just organizes groups of people to
Play
he gets games together.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense because I mean stereotypically I think people stereotypically
we should see if that's a real word.
Stereotypically?
Yeah.
Let's see. Don't tell me to look something up because I will. Stereotypically. Let's see if I bet you it is. Stereo.
I'm gonna say that it's not.
Typically. You're wrong. Stereotypically. Yeah, it's in the Cambridge Dictionary. How about that? In the way you would expect someone or something to behave, etc.
Whatever.
Yeah. So I think a lot of folks who have, I mean, I don't know if there's a correlation, but a lot of people who have lots of imagination live a lot of times in that area and don't have really a lot of skills to like network. Maybe, I don't know. That's probably wrong. Or I'm saying that wrong. But that's cool. So he found a market and he's
doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't remember his name or the website, but I just know that I met that guy. Yeah. It's not made up. It's real.
Yeah, that's cool. Google it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, awesome. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Some Dungeons and Dragons. And you make board games too, right?
I dabble in the board game design field as a hobby, I would say.
Did that come from your interest in Dungeons and Dragons, or do you think?
I think it comes more from board games. As a kid, you play a lot of board games, and then, probably. I probably didn't even get in. You played Settlers of Catan with me, I think.
I've never played Settlers of Catan. Oh. I've always wanted to play Settlers of Catan.
That's a great game.
Yeah, I want to play.
And we'll play it then.
Yes, I would love to play. Every time I
should play. Have you played my new game?
I played your pizza one.
The pirate one?
I haven't played the pirate one yet.
Oh,
I played the pizza one, and then we also played. You had another game. I can't remember what it was, but
we have the villain game. I have the villain game.
Yeah.
The supervillains, and then the pizza one where you're wizards, and then I have shitbag. Can I say shitbag?
Yeah, say whatever you want.
I can say shitbag.
Say shitbag.
On your. And then I did one called "The Moon is Made of Cheese."
Nice.
Where you were mice.
Oh, cool.
Collecting cheese from the moon.
Cool.
And then this new one.
Which is called
The Legend of Fortune Islands.
Cool.
Pirate
awesome. Game. And your games are manatee games, right?
No, I don't really have a board game group anymore. It's just me.
Just you
doing my thing. And
Sean Friend Games.
Well, I mean, in order to have a game company, you have to publish something, and I have not done that.
No. But you're working on stuff.
Yeah, I'm working. I think it's a hobby. It's a fun hobby, and right now, I'm less interested in trying to publish it.
Yeah. Yeah, every time I log into Facebook, which is not very often, I actually just deactivated my Facebook. I don't know, I'm not super hot on Facebook, but the first things on my feed are a lot of times are your drawings. Are those for characters on your games, or is that something else?
Just for me. I just like to draw sometimes.
Love it. Good times.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
Do you have any other questions for me? Curious, Lorenzo?
I think you've quenched my curiosity for now.
Is there like is there like a theme song that goes on the outro?
There's gonna be a theme song. Yeah,
Does the music start playing like right now?
It might start playing right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, Sean, you are one of the most imaginative people I've ever known, and I think that's kind of like what I want to like. Some of the things I was thinking about when I was starting this is like just keeping a lot of my imagination and curiosity moving. So thanks for modeling that.
I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah.
You inspire me to do more myself.
All right. Well, I'm going to end the podcast right now. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.